Hey guys, this is it's been quite a while since my last video, probably about April-ish, but the summer season's over, not working, going back to school, so I can actually sit down and do a video for once, which is nice. This video actually I did this a couple years ago. It was my what's returning and what's new TV list, and I think I'm going to do that again. Although I skipped it last year out of laziness, but I'm going to do it this year. And there aren't very many new shows, but with the new shows that I do have on the list, the trailers for all of them are going to be down in the description. If you haven't heard of them or you need to see it, they'll be down there. But starting off, I've got my list. The first show to come back, it's actually already aired as of now, which is Doctor Who. That was last Saturday on the 1st of September with Series 7. Uh, it was a good start so far, I think. A nice little surprise Stephen Moffat had for us by having a new companion in it, and it's going to be interesting to see how she fits in. But really, what the rest of the episodes are all about are Amy and Rory leaving. So it's going to be heartbreaking, and then we got 5 episodes in a row, then a break, then the Christmas special, then a break, then the remaining 8 episodes, 7 or 8 episodes. So that's Doctor Who, and the 50th anniversary is also coming up next year, November 2013. So that's something else to look forward to. There's going to be a series of specials, so I can't wait to see what Moffat and the team bring out. Just as long as Matt Smith doesn't regenerate, he can stay around a little while. And then next up, Parenthood and Sons of Anarchy for September 11th. Now, I kid you not when I say that these are two of the best shows on television right now. Sons of Anarchy in season 4 really just solidified that for me, and Parenthood has been slowly growing towards that status with just each season and every episode. It just gets more emotional and it really tugs at those heartstrings, and you don't really think you have those kinds of emotions until you watch Parenthood, and it's just like you've got those kinds of emotions, and you're like you're getting the Kleenex because it's just that kind of it's just you just find yourself crying a river, and Sons of Anarchy is just intense. And then at the end of September, there's How I Met Your Mother coming back. Not a whole lot to say about that other than I think they made a mistake. I think they should have, because to me, I think season 8 should be the last, and they should have introduced the mother at the end of season 7 and then had all of season 8 with the mother. But I don't know if they do season 9, then I'd like to see that happen for season, like, mother at the end of season 8 and then season 9 a whole season with her. But I don't really know. I watch it, but it's just it doesn't have that same kind of magic that it used to. The Big Bang Theory, I'm still watching it, and the main reason, like this show is funny, but the main reason why I watch is just for like geeky references and all that, and I just keep waiting for like more stuff like that, because you got like Stan Lee and Leonard Nimoy showing up, and I'm looking out for more of that. Fringe starts its final season in September 28th. It's only a 13 episode season, but I'm glad that we can go into this season knowing what Fringe's future is going to be instead of fearing it like we did going into every other season. It was kind of like Friday Night Lights, because you weren't sure every season if it was going to come back or not. It was really like that with Fringe, and now they've got 13 episodes to tell their story, and I personally I really liked season 4, so I just hope season 5 will carry on in quality. Dexter and Homeland on September 30th. Now, Dexter and Homeland, they're Showtime shows, and Dexter season 6, it got into the religion big time, and I hope that they can. Like that probably won't be as apparent in season 7 because of what the cliffhanger was with Deb and stuff, and I think 7 and 8, or Dexter's got 7 and 8 left for seasons, and then it's done. So if they find a good way to bring Dexter back, then I'm all for it, because I don't think Dexter's a bad show at all. And Homeland, of course, it was really the surprise of last year. So I'm excited to see where they're going to take that, because the season 1 finale had quite a few shockers, and season 2 is probably just going to blow us out of the water as well. And also for September, Young Justice and Green Lantern the Animated Series are supposed to be coming back. I don't know when. I actually think September 26th was thrown around, but the 8th was also thrown around, so I don't think it's the 8th because there's been no promotional material for it, so it's probably the 26th. Green Lantern's good, but Young Justice is better. It's, Young Justice rivals all the DCAU shows. It really does with its storytelling. So it's a cartoon, and it's for kids, but I find myself wanting to watch it more than a lot of the shows I mentioned previously. And then coming in October is actually when the CW is bringing back all of its shows. I don't know why they wanted to wait till October. It's just one of those CW things that they like to do. They just make us ask questions. So Supernatural is first up, going into its 8th year. I kind of wish that they would have announced at Comic-Con that season 8 was going to be the last, but that's just the way it goes. Not that I want it to end. I just think that they should go out on a high note and not overstay their welcome. But if they can continue pumping out good stories, then I'll be there to watch. And I think the producers said they're trying to push for 10 seasons, but who knows. And then we've got The Vampire Diaries on October 11th. Vampire Diaries, you can make fun of me all you want, but it's one of those shows that I watch and I got addicted to, and I love it. I love it. In The League, which actually, it's starting season 4, and if you haven't seen The League, I highly recommend it. Basically, it's about this fantasy football league, but you like Friday Night Lights. You don't need to know anything about football or fantasy football for that matter to enjoy the show, because it's just fucking hilarious. And October 14th is The Walking Dead and Comic Book Men. Now, The Walking Dead, if you saw the Comic-Con trailer, they're finally introducing the governor. Merle's back, the prison, so I think we can expect to see lots of stuff from the comics here. And it's 16 episodes this season, although they're breaking it up. What can you do? And Comic Book Men is going to be 16 episodes as well, but it's only 16 half-hour episodes, whereas in the last season it was 6 full-hour episodes. But I can deal. I mean, Comic Book Men for me was hilarious because I love Kevin Smith and all of his friends. I listen to their podcasts, and just being able to see them on TV in the, talking stuff about comics and superheroes, it just adds to it for me. And October 17th is American Horror Story Asylum, which is the subtitle for season 2. I think there were some people who really didn't like season 1. We marathoned it, and I thought it was awesome. So American Horror Story, I'll continue to watch it if they'll keep up with the scares. And Community is October 19th. I hope it can survive without Dan Harmon. I hope the quality keeps up, and if it does, then NBC definitely needs to renew it. And then there's, before I get into the new shows, there's just a bunch of mid-season shows. The original Being Human, with it's actually gone down to 6 episodes as a series, but whatever. That's up, and it's kind of rebooted too, almost. So I'm looking forward to that. the U.S. remake of Being Human, which I was really skeptical of in its first season, but season two, it went in its own direction with a lot of the characters and the mythology. Like it changes up mythology from the original, which if you're gonna do something, then that's how you do it. So they're doing it good and proper. Californication, Game of Thrones, which I just got into this past summer and marathoned the first 19 episodes at that point in 8 days. We need more Game of Thrones on television. Republic of Doyle, a Canadian show, which I've talked about in the past. Sherlock, and the final season of Spartacus, Spartacus War of the Damned. I it just kind of come out of nowhere that they were ending it, but I trust them to just put on a good show, and sometimes Spartacus can be absolutely ridiculous, but that's a good thing. Next up for new shows, I did have a list of... I had quite a list of probably 10, maybe 10 or more that I planned on tuning in on, but I just figured you see the shows that I'm watching, right? It's ridiculous. So I've leveled it down to 5, and these are the 5 which I think are just the coolest. And the first one was the J.J. Abrams Eric Kripke show Revolution. That's another post-apocalyptic show. I'm only watching it because their names are attached to it. And I think Jon Favreau actually directed the pilot, so that's going to be one for me to look out for. Elementary, which is, of course it's getting early comparisons to Sherlock, but, maybe they can do modern-day Sherlock Holmes in a different way. They already are by having it set in America and by having Watson be a woman, so I just hope that, because it's on CBS, I hope it's not all this will they, won't they shit. I get tired of that a lot in procedural shows like that, and this is probably what this is going to be, is quite procedural. Then Arrow in October, based off the Green Arrow, but he's not actually the Green Arrow, he's just a vigilante known as Arrow. No green really related to him, I think, but this one, I'm surprised at the amount of DC characters which are going to be appearing. Like Huntress is going to be a love interest, something like fucking Firestorm's mother is going to be a character, Deathstroke, Deadshot, many more, hopefully Speedy at some point. Arrow is probably the one I'm most excited for because I'm a geek. Let's just put it that way. I'm a geek. And then the following, which is mid-season, it's a Kevin Williamson show starring Kevin Bacon, who's an old FBI profiler, comes out of retirement, stuff like that. It catches Kevin Bacon and Kevin Williamson. They both caught my eye for that one, so that's mainly why I'm tuning in there. And another mid-season one is going to be the Hannibal show, which stars Le Chiffre from Casino Royale and I think Lawrence Fishburne. There's no trailer for that, so there won't be any in the bottom, but I really enjoy the Hannibal movies, so... And actually, I haven't seen Red Dragon, which I guess the first season of this, or what this is going to be based off of, I haven't seen that, so it'll be interesting to see how this guy's portrayal differs from Anthony Hopkins, who Anthony Hopkins I think is great. Some people hail Brian Cox as the best, but I mean, I saw Anthony Hopkins first, so... And Brian Cox, I don't think, it wasn't even like a full-fledged appearance. I think it was a cameo, wasn't it? I don't know, I've never seen Manhunter, but that will be it for me this time. I'm not going to bother going into summer shows because there's some of them currently on now ending, like Weeds and LA Complex, and there was Falling Skies and True Blood. I'm not going to go into that too far in the future. They just ended, so it's kind of a limbo space for them. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you subscribing and watching, and I don't say that enough, but you guys are the best, and I'll see you on the next one.